On the fourth day of Vlogmas, I present to you tips on how to go live and different tips to have success with your live sales. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel and happy Vlogmas. Today is day 4 and I am going to talk about all things live shows and different tips that you could have when you're going live and how to go live, all these different questions. I get so many people asking for videos specifically on how to go live and tips for going live, so I'm going to cover that all in today's video. Hope you enjoyed this video, and maybe even at the end I will show a clip of me actually vlogging and doing a live show. Okay, so there are two different types of lives on Poshmark. You could do a silent live or a actual live. So you could go into the My Posh shows and then you could create your live. So if you want to do a silent, you would click on the silent and then you would just put a picture, for your live. You would set the time, you would set the title, and then you can do show tags, which is going to help, draw in more people into your show. And then you would set the time and the date, and then you can click save show, and then it will come up in your Posh shows. So then you can share your show to somebody else, or to Facebook groups, or to your Poshmark followers, wherever you want to really get the word out there that you're going live. And so then to prepare for your live, I would set up your deck if you're gonna do listed inventory. So you can pull in, so you can click on the add listings and then pull in 100 pieces from your closet or however many pieces from your closet that you want. And if you want to do like a shared show, you could, where you can accept shared listings from other closets. This is really great, and a lot of people like share shows because it's kind of like giving back to the community, and it's more interesting for people. When you're creating your show, if you accept shared listings, you can then add in other people's listings. You could add in 2 from every closet if you do it through the show. You could also accept shared listings afterwards if you wanted to. You could go back into the show and edit the show. If you are doing unlisted inventory, you could just auto-generate some unlisted inventory listings, and then that way you can just kind of show the piece and then run it and then sell it. Or the third way that you could do it is you could do a quick list while you're in the show, but I don't recommend that because I feel like that just takes a lot of time to do. So to prepare, besides just adding your items to the deck, is you want to set up a space that you are going to go live. If you are going live on an actual camera, you want to make sure you have a tripod or something to hold your phone, and you want to make sure that you have a second device readily available. So I would recommend going live on the phone because it gives the best quality. I would make sure you plug in your phone because you want to make sure that your phone doesn't die while you're live. And then I would make sure that you have a second device, whether that be a laptop, a desktop, or a iPad, to really make sure that you can pull in new pieces or pull out pieces as they sell or things like that. You could also make sure that you are adding other people's listings if they're sharing them with you, and make sure that you set up your items. So for me, I have a clothing rack that I would set up with all my pieces if I was going to do an actual live, and I had all the pieces that I'm selling behind me so people could see and say, oh, what's that yellow shirt? Let me run that, or something like that. So I would have all the pieces that you want to run organized, ready to go, whether you organize them by size, by color, by style, whatever you want. Make sure it's something that is easy for you to find, and make sure that you have your measuring tape on hand ready to go in case somebody asks for measurements on the item. And also make sure that you have a glass of water and some snacks ready to go, especially if you plan on going live for a while. You want to make sure that you are energized and ready to go. This one might be obvious, but make sure if you need to go to the bathroom or anything like that, do that before you go live. Obviously, you might have to go throughout the show, but it's best to just get it done beforehand. So if you are doing a silent live, really all you have to do to prepare is just basically add your listings to the deck and then send out your show if you want to share it with people. So it's really easy to prepare for that. Some show tips that I recommend. I do recommend making a listing that kind of represents your shows so that people can follow your shows and get notified when you're live. So I make a show listing that says, like this listing to be notified when I'm live. And I made that in Canva. I made it really easily. And so I keep that at the top of my closet. And a lot of people ask how I keep it at the top of my closet. Basically, I share it to the top of my closet with all my other listings. So it stays at the top, and then people like it. And I have about 200 people now that have liked the listing. And so then when I go to do my Posh show, I pull in that listing and I run it, and all 200 of those people get notified when I'm live. So this is just a great way to pull in people to get your show started. I also recommend doing like a poll in the live to ask what people are looking for, whether that be sizes or categories or things like that. That helps get engagement up. I also recommend commenting to the people in your show, letting them know like welcome, or let me know if there's anything you're looking looking for, or what sizes are you looking for, or if you see anything in the deck, let me know. The more you comment, the more that's going to help, push the show to other people, because the algorithm really likes when there's comments. You could also let people know to hit that like button on the show, in the show itself, because that will also help draw more people to your show. The other thing I recommend is tagging people, tagging them to bring them in. So you would tag them by just using the @ symbol and then their username. And then you could also have other people in the show tagging for you. Now, if you are new to shows, you could have a moderator that, you pick and help go through the show. So like if you have a friend that's also a reseller, they could be in the show moderating, so they can comment generic things. They can, keep track of your sales for you, or they can, be your question person, so they can look at all the questions that are coming in. That's only if you have like a really big show and you have a lot of stuff, but having a moderator is definitely really helpful if you need. And make sure that when you go live, you have a variety of sizes and categories and things that people are looking for, because if you only have one size, you're gonna really weed out a lot of people that are looking to buy. And if you don't have a variety of categories, you might really also miss out on the opportunity to sell pieces. I recommend you going live for longer than 30 minutes, because that's gonna really increase your chances of selling pieces. And I recommend that you list your pieces in your show and you have more than 10 pieces, because again, that's gonna really increase your chances of selling the items. And throughout the show, you can run that show listing to really get people to come in. And now with the giveaways feature, you can really entice people to come into your show by running a giveaway. So I've talked about giveaways in prior videos, but basically giveaways are a free thing to a buyer. So the seller pays for the shipping and the cost of the giveaway. And it really just entices people to wanna buy more, because if they win the giveaway and then they buy in your show, they get free shipping on the entire show. So it's really enticing to buyers to, enter the giveaway. And if you're just starting out and you're trying to get people into your show, I would run the giveaway for 5 to 10 minutes and really try and drive people into the show. And then that way, when you go to actually start your show, you're gonna have more of an audience. If you are more of an experienced seller and you've done giveaways a lot, you can do them for like 1 minute and just, raffle them off pretty quickly. And with the giveaways, I recommend that you give away pieces that are small, that don't weigh a lot, and that aren't super costly, because like if it's over $600, you have to fill out like a separate tax form. And I don't know why you would want to give away that much. Maybe you're really just trying to get people into your show, but make sure it's nothing crazy. I've seen a lot of people do like a piece of jewelry, homemade wax melt, or just different things like that. You want to do something small, like a piece, like a scarf or a hat, or a piece of makeup or something like that. Something that people want, but also that's really small, that's not gonna add a lot of weight to the order. Make sure that when you run the item, if you're doing like an actual live show, you wanna make sure that you show the item before you actually run the item, because especially if you run the item for a quick amount, like 15 seconds, people don't have time to actually look at the item to make sure they're gonna want it. So I would show the item first, I would talk about it, show that it's stretchy, show the measurements, all these different things, and then I would hit the run button, because that's really gonna get people more interested in the item, and people are gonna actually want the item if they know what they're purchasing. Now, the good thing with shows is you are able to split the orders into multiple packages if it goes overweight. So if you have someone that purchases multiple items from your show and it goes over that 5-pound limit, you can then run an extra label in the show, which is what a lot of us do. We just create a listing, just like you would with the show listing. You create an extra listing that just says extra shipping label, and then you have the buyer, so you comment to them saying, hey, your package is getting a little overweight. I'm gonna run an extra shipping label to cover the cost for me to upgrade the shipping. So then they just purchase that extra shipping label. And so then you just go into the order and then just, split it into 2. You could only do this during shows. So like if you have a bundle that's 10 plus items, outside of a posh show and you want to split the order, you unfortunately can't do that. So that is a perk of doing it through the show, is you can split it into multiple boxes. So you can have, 2 labels for the same order in different boxes. So that really makes it easy for you to ship the items out. And make sure you keep that in mind when people are bidding on items in your show. Make sure you're keeping in mind what the weight could be, especially in the winter time with heavier pieces such as jackets, pants, sweaters, all that kind of thing. Those weigh a lot more. And the final tip I'm gonna recommend is just have fun with your show. Play some music or really engage with your audience, like talk to them. Even if you're doing a silent live, you could still play music, you could turn on the audio, or you could still kind of like talk to them like via voice. So it's definitely good to really engage with your audience. You want to keep people engaged in the show, because you know, especially with silence, it's hard to do that. So the more you kind of talk to them, the more you play some music, the more they are really more interested in purchasing and staying around for more in the show. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video on these tips to go live and how to go live and all of that. I will include a short clip of me doing a silent show here just so you could see how to do it, because I don't actually go live. Being live on a camera is terrifying to me, so I don't go live, but I will show you how to set up a silent live and how I actually run my silent live. Okay, so let's start our recap here for Vlogmas. So on the 4th day of Vlogmas, I present to you some tips and tricks on how to go live and tips for, you know, having success with your lives. On the 3rd day of Vlogmas, I presented to you some listing tips, titles, and photographing helpers that are gonna help you have more success on the platform. On the 2nd day of Vlogmas, I presented to you some new increased search and enhanced visibility that Poshmark has put out. They made an update where they basically talked about how the search is going to be updated and improved. So I talked about that. And in the 1st day of Vlogmas, I presented to you increased chances of selling your items and how you can increase your sales. So hopefully you check out those videos if you want to. And if you want to see another day of Vlogmas, I will actually include 2 right here that you could pick from. And if you want to see the rest of them, you can go to the playlist that I have specifically for Vlogmas and watch any of the videos that you want. But until next time, I will see you then.